Hey guys, welcome to my channel Miss Recap. Today I'm going to explain the Netflix series The Sandman episode 10. In this episode, Rose now knows the real face of Constantine inside the room. Constantine does not leave the chance to manipulate her and tries to convince her, saying how dangerous Dream could be. If she starts to bring the walls down between people's dream, he even shows her fear of death and offers to protect her and keep them safe. He tries to make her understand that she will be more powerful than Dream and create her realm. Rose is grown up and smart as she turns down his offers and decides to leave the hotel with her brother. Constantine knows the importance of Rose to him, so to make the ball in his court, he gives her both room keys and asks her to take some time before she makes any decision, and leaves from there to give his keynote speech at the convention. In his speech, Constantine asks all the killers to close their eyes and continue his bullshit. At the same time, Dream shows up there, but Constantine no longer fears with Dream. He continues his speech. Unfortunately, Constantine has become more powerful since their last meeting. Eventually, Rose and her brother also enters in Dream. They see both Dream and Constantine blaming each other and talking about her. She is terrified of seeing the killer performing their activity with the dead bodies. When the killer tries to encircle Rose and Jed, they run from there. At the same time, Dream tries to wake her up. Things don't seem good for Dream with Rose Walker there, at the heart of his dream, breaking down the walls between waking and dreaming worlds. Dream tries to make her understand that Constantine is manipulating her and she needs to choose him, otherwise whole universe will suffer and isolate. While Constantine tells her that Dream will kill her eventually, and she needs to choose him with the option to pick one of them. She decides to raise the walls for the time being and tells them that she will find her own way. Then she wakes in her bed in her hotel room. For the last time, again Dream and Constantine face off. Dream eventually punishes Constantine and ultimately fades him away. Dream picks up Constantine's skull and promises that whenever he makes Constantine again, he will create him flawlessly. Then Dream wakes serial killers from their daydreams, in which they are always right, and promises that this won't happen again and it's over now. He also informs them that from now onwards, all the killers will feel how craven, selfish and monstrous they are. They must live with the pain, guilt and grief of those they have slaughtered. Some killer turns themselves in and informs the police, while some take their own lives. We see Matthew and Dream outside of the hotel, where Matthew wonders whether to follow Rose or not. Dream points out it's all over and he doesn't need to follow her, as she is not a threat when she is awake, but still is a threat when she dreams. So tonight, he plans to find her in her dream. Meanwhile, Rose and Jed are heading to the hospital as Lyda goes into labor. The whole family is there except Gilbert, who had to leave the note, stating he had to go home. Rose is worried and thinks Dream will kill her when she goes to sleep. On the other hand, Lyda urges her to find him and recommends killing him before he could kill her. Probably, Lyda is igniting the revolt for whatever Dream did to her husband. That evening, Rose finds herself dreaming once more, but this time a huge vortex appears, engulfing everyone she loves. However, Dream appears and begs her to think things through, saying that although she has done a lot of harm, it is nothing he can't fix. Rose must, however, try to repair this or vortex anyway. In this meantime, Fiddler Green shows up there and tells Rose that he is part of Dream. Dream insists on saying the vortex must die. Rose wonders and asks about the reason for vortex existence. Gilbert comes up with the theory for it. According to him, when human is at the center of dreaming and recalls that they exist only because of human when they dream. He further adds that the miracle of humanity itself always be more vivid to dreaming, and its creation than any marvel of power still. Dream is not convinced by Fiddler Green and asks to take his responsibility before turning into greenery. He offers Rose to walk and visit him. He then transforms into his form, turning barren land into the rich and beautiful land, setting the background of fields and meadows. Meanwhile, Unity Kincaid suddenly shows up there with her book in her hand, which explains she is the real vortex. According to her, as the dream was imprisoned and locked out of dreaming, that fate was handed down to her descendants. To make it clearer, she asks Rose to hand over Ruby Heart. Rose dives her hand inside her chest and pulls out the Ruby Heart and hands it to Unity. Finally, the vortex is returned to the rightful owner. Sacrificing herself to Rose can live before she dies. She reveals that the father of her child has golden eyes. Dream is familiar to this person. Desire has golden eyes in the family of Endless. Unity and Rose say a final goodbye. Shortly, Rose wakes up in her bed with her brother by her side. After that, Dream pays a visit to Desire Chambers. He is not happy and wants Desires for carrying out such a master stroke, which nearly ends the whole universe. When Dream leaves from there, Desire promises to hit him back and will draw blood out of him. Meanwhile, Dream is busy working on his fated creation. Lucian shows up there with big news. Rose has written a book that has just been added to the library. Lucian was not happy when Dream vanished calls and now is finally convinced that he is also responsible for what had happened in Dreaming during his absence. Before Lucian leaves for the library, he brings Cole back and gives her wings with no pun intended. He now allows her to become just like she has always wanted. All three of them are happy. Also, Dream assigns Lucian a new responsibility and tasks her to watch out for and take care for the Dreaming. While he is at work in hell, Lucifer is still mad at Dream. After losing with him, she is still looking for a chance to revolt against Dream. In the meantime, Lord of Zelzel shows up there and wants her to attack the Dreaming and extended the boundaries of hell. The armies of hell are there if she chooses to attack Dreaming and then ultimately the waking world as General wants execution. Lucifer agrees to act on General's demand and wishes to bring Morpheus to his knee, an enraged god. The season ends here. Thanks for watching. If you like it, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel.